All right, guys, so today we're going to get into copper foiling these pieces. We've cut the glass and now I want to clean them first before we wrap the foil around them, the pieces. So they just got to be cleaned up. We'll dunk them in some water and yeah, that's it. Easy process. Dunk them in the water and dry each piece off. It's just from the grinding, it picks up, you know, like glass bits, glass dust all around, but especially the sides, the edges of the glass. That's what we want to clean off. So not really caring too much about the top surface, but if you want to clean that off, that's totally fine. But majority of the work is really trying to clean off these edges of the glass. Once we do that, and they'll dry off right away, so just, you know, an easy wipe with the towel. And you want to make sure that they're also kind of, you know, that they're dry, so we're not working with wet glass. You definitely want just dry glass to work with the copper foil. It is pretty much like putting a sticker on. So you want to have a dry surface, clean dry surface, and then put the sticker and wrap it around the glass. That's pretty much what we're going to be doing today. I don't think we're getting into the soldering. I kind of hope that we can, but I don't think I can pull that off. So possibly it could just be the copper foiling today. Yeah, I don't want to promise anything, and if I can get to that point, that's great. But right now, let's just say we're gonna do copper foil only, just because of time and who knows what will come up. All right, this piece is, maybe I didn't need to dunk the whole thing because now it's just too wet all around here. Let me move this. Okay, so we're pretty much done with all those pieces here, and trying to be careful with this. Yeah, the process has been going well so far. It does feel like it takes forever, and I hate that. You know, day by day, this is the best way to get through the projects, just a little bit at a time. For me here, to be able to get into the shop, do some work, and, you know, however long that takes is sadly how long it takes. So I apologize for that. You know, if I miss a couple of days, kid's sick or whatever it is, then it goes on to like the next week or next week, and I don't really have the weekends. I just have the weekdays when they're at school. So that's what I'm trying to do, is just do the work, a little bit of work during the weekdays, and then hopefully this thing gets done, you know. Okay, what we're going to be doing is using copper foil with the copper back. If you haven't done copper foil before, there's what I've known so far to exist, 3 types of copper foil with the backing in different colors. So the backing of them, when you peel it off, you'll have it's like the sticky adhesive on the back. And this one in particular is a silver back. You'll see that. This one here is the black back. And this one is a copper back, and it's all copper on the front. It's actually copper strips that will lay on the front, but the backing of it can be these 3 colors. So you've got the copper, the black, and the silver. We're going with 7/32 of an inch. I like that size, and that seems to work with the glass that we're working with, regular stained glass, and also with doing the soldering, like the 60-40 solder that we're going to be using. When we solder that, it just works well with the thickness or the width of the strips. You can go wider. If you go wider, that means the glass will take up more of the strip, and that means more soldering. You'll get thicker lines when you solder. So 7/30 seconds seems to work for me, and that's what I'm sticking with. So we're gonna go with this here, the copper foil with the copper back. All right, so I'm gonna start off with, let's try the smaller pieces here just to see how things work. So we've cleaned it off nice and dry, nice and clean on the edges. And I will just go ahead and just wrap it around. So you can start off pretty much anywhere. For this piece, it's so small that I'm not too worried where I'm starting off, but what you want to do is try to balance it out. Balance and just estimate the, how it lands on the glass here. So just try to press that down, let it stick a little bit, and you're not folding it just yet. So I like to wrap it around first, kind of eyeball it, get it to be centered. And as you come around, this is a pretty small piece here, you just overlap it, and you can do overlapping just a little bit, and then we'll cut it off with a pair of scissors. So way over here. All right. Okay. Cut this off. Let's see, I'll cut it right like that. So now that we have this wrapped around, okay, we want to press it in. Try not to use your fingernails. I've done that before, and it's just not as, I mean, you can do it, but another thing that would be more helpful is something like this. It's just a plastic piece. We call this a FID tool. I think that might be called something else too, I forget, but they come in different sizes. But if you don't have something like this, it's really just a plastic piece. So if you have something similar, a pen cap, even a pen itself, just start rolling that around. Press on it, press on the edges of the glass, and I'm just going over it, trying to get that sticky tackiness of the tape to really stick to the edges. The better you do this, for one, the strength of the foil, will stick onto the glass, and what we're doing here is we're going to apply solder onto this afterwards. So if it comes off, that means the tape is bad, and also you could also overheat things with the solder too. So we'll get to that. I'll explain more about that, but for now, just make sure that we're like pressing this in, and on the edges you can just fold it over, one over the other. Very easy process here. I hope it's easy for all you guys here. But yeah, just really press it in on all sides, the corners too. And when it curves around, you have like, this one is a rounded edge right here. It helps to just kind of roll things over easier. I don't know, I'm not even sure. I just play around with the pieces, or with the, the whole entire thing here. Kind of play around with that, see what works, whatever you feel comfortable with. There's even like a notch tool right here. I mean, a notched out spot, so good for getting those edges and just running it along the glass here. So in a second, I'll show you what it looks like on all the sides here. I'm just trying to really get it done. So I don't know, how long does that take? Like a good few minutes. Probably go faster, but maybe check it out over here on the top screen. So everything is flushed, everything is pressed into the glass. And so that is done. That is one piece. Oh yeah, we're going with, again, this copper foil, copper back, so it's trying to make sure we got the right thing here. On this particular piece, this is laid out like this. Actually, this is laid out like this. This goes here, this goes here, that goes there, there, and is it this piece? Oops. All right. Okay. So it goes something like this. But what I'm going to be doing actually is framing the border with the brass cane, and that's a strip of this right here. So we're going to be framing that. The glass gets inserted into these slots, this slot right here. So technically the side that gets inserted into this, you don't really need to foil. So you can go just up to it and then skip that part. It's just going to be hidden right inside it, inside this channel. So I think we don't have to wrap everything if you have a border. Although I think some people do it just to do it, so you don't have to think too much about it and just wrapping it, especially if it's smaller pieces here. You know, I don't think that matters too much. Oh, it does. It does. It does because for us here, like this clear piece, we have a choice. If you wrap it, you're going to see this copper back, the sticker part that you wrap around the clear edge, the edges of this glass. That will show, if you're looking at it from a corner or different sides of the frame, it might show. So if you don't do it, you're just going to see the brass channel. So that depends on if you want to have it there, you don't want to have it there. I think we're going to skip it, but maybe when we get to that point, we can decide. But I think it's unnecessary. We might not even need it, and I don't think anybody's going to be looking that deep in to the sides of the glass here on the frame. So yeah, just it doesn't matter. For now, let's continue with the smaller pieces, and I think I'll go ahead and just wrap. I'll just wrap everything here. It feels like it takes longer to think about. If I have to decide like where that piece ends, where do I have to stop wrapping it? Where do I have to start it again? I might as well just wrap it all. It's not that big of a deal for me, because like this, we're already back at the beginning again. All right, same deal, same process. Cut that off, and then you can, I guess you could try to run. Use your fingers, wrap it around, maybe quicker, and then start using this. Thing for this right now that I'm concerned about is the copper foil patina that we're going to be using, because you can't leave this alone. You have to solder it, right? This has to get soldered together. The solder is silver, and then we want to turn it into the copper color. And by doing that, I've never really been successful with doing copper patina. So I don't know how it's going to turn out, but we're going to do our best and hope for the best. See if it'll be a real copper color, because I've done it before. Looks good for about a day, and then that copper color kind of fades out and it turns into like an older antique look. You know, it's not as shiny and vibrant as when you started it. So I'm not too sure, but we are going to go for it, and if it works out, great. If it doesn't, I don't know. It'll just be another part of it'll just be the picture frame that we get, unless I don't know. I don't have any secrets to do it. I know other people say they have like their specific ways to do it, but to do the patina, and I just haven't had success with the copper foil. So I mean copper patina, but I'm hoping we'll see some different results today. Okay. Copper foil is probably my least favorite part of the glass making. I just think that it's kind of boring. It's not like an exciting part of the process. Some people just do this like while they're watching TV and stuff, because you got a lot of work to do and you have to do it. A lot of people get started doing copper foiling first instead of the leaded projects. So I think we all go through this, and yeah, you can just think of it as like it could be just more therapeutic type of thing. Luckily, we don't have that much to do. Got a couple more here. So also, I might have an older roll of this copper foil. So I'm ashamed to say I don't have a new roll. And I think either if it's like been sitting, gotten oxidized, that could be an issue, possibly. So maybe there's a future test that I got to do. Get a new roll and an old roll and see. Could be worth it, actually. Now I feel kind of dumb for not using the best, because if this was the problem and it doesn't come out, then you kind of feel like you wasted your time, you know, doing this copper foiling thing. Looks pretty shiny. Looks like a good clean roll to me. So it's been a while. I don't know how old it is. It might have been like an older stash that I had gotten. But yeah, guys, I don't know. Okay. Normally during this part, like every video that I've made, I would skip this part. Like, oh. Yeah, I'd do like one section and then go, okay, so now we'll do it for the rest of them, because, you know, who wants to sit through this and just have to so there might be a break-in happening. Just kidding. Okay. I hear a lot of noises out here today. I think the crows have gone. You might hear them. Trains might be coming. We got airplanes in the background. All kinds of fun noises in the city, or in a suburban area. Okay. All right. You know, it's been so long since I've done copper foiling. Since I gotten back, I don't think I haven't done any, actually. So my last project with copper foil has been, I don't remember what the last project is. I can't recall. I don't know what the last project I did with copper foil was. So it feels a little bit strange, I guess. I mean, it's doing its thing. It's supposed to looks good. Feels like it's sticking on fine. And when you solder it, the sticker part, how it curves and what you see on the glass, that's where the solder is going to stick. So if it looks good, your solder will flow and stick to that. And if it's sloppy, the lines aren't straight, your solder will flow to that. So we'll try to make it as nice as possible. Whew. 2 more to go. All right. Line it up. See, sometimes it doesn't feel like as tacky. And that could be because it's old. It's been sitting. Oh man, we'll find out. If this doesn't work, I'll be kind of sad. But I think the gold would look cool if we can do it, or the copper patina. So I want that look. It could go black, it could go silver, right? So that's your choice. You can do whatever color you want. Silver is easiest. You don't have to do anything. You just solder and leave it. So solder everything up, shine it up, and then you're done. Patina, black, you're gonna have to add patina. Copper, you have to add copper patina. So extra steps. Typically if you did a project, you had to do patina, you probably charged more. You know, if you did silver, You don't have to do anything extra, so you can be done with that project, and probably wouldn't cost as much to not do that work. Okay. Folding the sides in. Folding the sides. There's Bart. I hear Bart. We're very close to Bart. You know, like a couple blocks from the tracks. So I can hear it throughout the day if I pay attention. And especially if I come out here in the garage, then, and with the garage door opened, then I can hear it. And yeah, sometimes it's okay, but sometimes it feels like it's screeching. It's like this nasty screech. Especially if you ride it, I guess you can hear that too. You would know. If you're in the Bay Area, you would know. It is not quiet. Okay. Doing pretty good. No problems with it sticking so far. Got the edges to do the edges, the folds, all that stuff. Just make sure it's yeah. All right, last one. Oh, I guess you still got the big piece to do, and I think we're gonna opt out to not wrap the entire thing. We don't need to do that, so we're gonna make sure that we wrap what we need. See, I knew we couldn't do much of anything else today. Oh. All right. Shoot. Seriously, time to wrap it up. Okay. We can do this. We can get this done. I can get the smallest last piece here. We get this done, and we're gonna wrap that last piece. I don't know. I don't even think I'm gonna make this a video. Like, why would you need this? Do you need to see? You don't need to see wrapping the copper foil 100 times. It's probably unnecessary. How did the time just fly by like that? This is crazy. All right, good. Got that, and now we're gonna solder this together, and then the rest of it doesn't need to be soldered up because it's gonna be in the frame. So just the top row, just the top part. All right. So if that's the case, then we're gonna go with right here. Only the edge of the glass right there. What the heck? Okay. So we're just gonna do these curves. Trying to balance it out. And it's good. Oh. Okay. Wonder also if like my fingers, the oils from our fingers touching the copper foil could affect it. It's like rubbing on it, touching it, coating it. And then when we go to apply the patina, it doesn't stick, you know, because of all the oils and stuff. That could also be something to think about. I don't know, I think it could be true. Okay, I want to cut this off right on the edge. Okay, I got just the top parts of it, and fold that over. Because that will be soldered onto the other pieces. Right, so looks kind of cool. Folding those tips over. A little bit of construction, home construction going on. Everybody's doing their own things. We're doing this. Get to work in my studio. Makes it a nice day. Get to do this. I'm happy I get to make progress on this. That's for sure. Working on this a little bit at a time, day by day. It's helpful, you know, to know that I'm making it work, and we get to continue the project because I want to see this thing done. But yeah, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna make sure it's really pressed on there. This is the burnishing it. Really get it into the glass. If it's loose, then when you solder, the solder heat most likely peel it off. It'll pull it off. So you don't want that. You want to just try to press it in as much as you can. Top sides, all that stuff. Okay. All right. We're going to leave the rest of it right there. All of it looks kind of nice like this. This foil, all right. We're gonna solder that up. The rest of it is gonna be framed. Should we test out this paper? Here's This is our 7x10. The original drawing is 7x10 for the picture frame that I'm doing. So let's see how that lines up. So when I go to solder this, I'm going to try my best to get it to balance and be as even as possible to that. Those gaps are going to remain. I'm going to have to fill it with solder. So it's a little bit of gap. It's not too bad. You can fill them with solder. I probably could have tightened down the pieces a little bit better, but it's pretty hard when you're grinding these pieces, and then I was trying to estimate things, you know. Yeah, we can make it work. We can make it work. Oh, also, was that the right side? Make sure they're it's the right side of the glass for everything here. Don't make that mistake. Flip your glass over. You're on the wrong side of the glass. Remember, there's the textured side, smooth side. Depending on what you cut, try to remember that. Mark it somewhere. All right. I didn't need to get so precise with it, but I'd like to see how it sits. But yeah, I think we will make it work. It's good. All right, foiling is done. That's it. We're gonna stop it right here. Next step, we're gonna set this up and solder these pieces together, and then we could do the framing. So the framing can be customized to length and size. So we'll just get this as close as possible to the 7x10. So that'll be the next step, is soldering day. All right, that's it. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time.